If you pick up a fourth case, holy moly, I'm going to absolutely lose it. Do you understand? I want my community safe. When you're out there, you need to make the right decisions before you do something. Think, if I do this, what's going to happen? If I say this, what's going to happen? And if it could lead to a bad...
This is Judge Fleischer setting the tone immediately. This isn't just frustration. This is a judge signaling community safety over leniency. When a judge starts talking about decisions ending lives, that's courtroom code for your margin for error is gone. Question for you. Should judges be this blunt, or does this kind of intensity actually stop repeat behavior?
Bad result, then don't do it. Do you understand? Can you run his license to see, does he have a valid lawyer on it? Okay. You're not allowed to drive unless you have liability insurance as well. Do you understand? If you don't have car insurance, you cannot drive as well at all until you have a license and car insurance. Do you understand? Okay. Do we have any conditions, on the terroristic threat?
Judge, I got assigned to him, he was already in the back.
Correct.
And so I don't know if there was anything to the previous case. I know one of them is against the brother. My understanding that I think.
So I guess tell me about it, Alex, please, on both terroristic threats. Who are they?
Terroristic threats? Yes, Judge. So on the first terroristic threat, the complainant and the defendants are brothers. Dispatched to a residence in regard to a family disturbance. The defendant was removing the complainant's belongings from the residence and putting them in the back of his own vehicle to prevent the complainant from getting his things. The complainant tried to remove his things from the vehicle, and the defendant stated, "I will kill you." The complainant was in fear for his life when the defendant said this, and the defendant also later texted the complainant that if he touched his things again, he would cause him severe pain.
Let's pause here, because terroristic threat doesn't require a weapon. It requires credible fear. Saying, "I will kill you," especially during a heated confrontation, absolutely qualifies. This is one of those charges people underestimate until they're facing bond conditions and jail time. Do you think verbal threats should carry this much legal weight?
Pain.
This is the second one.
And the second terroristic threat occurred on October 26, 2024, when the officer was dispatched to a Crunch Fitness. The officer made contact with the complainant, a manager at the gym, who stated the defendant was involved in verbal and physical altercations with other members of the gym, and multiple complaints were filed. The complainant stated the defendant's membership was canceled due to issues with other members and the defendant making threats. The defendant then continued to act aggressively after finding out this information and caused a disturbance by screaming and cursing loudly. The complainant told the defendant he needed to leave and not return. The defendant became more agitated, left the business, returned multiple times, and when the complainant stepped out with the defendant and told the defendant not to return, the defendant responded multiple times he was going to come back to the business and kill the complainant.
Okay, Judge, I would argue on that one. I'm going to come back. I don't see an immediate threat or anything like that, any brandishing of anything.
You're on. It's the going to that we
Say, repeat what the threat was again.
He responded multiple times he was going to come back to the business and kill the complainant.
And I'm gonna come back, I think that there's enough to go forward.
That right there is the judge drawing a hard line. No contact orders aren't suggestions, they're tripwires. One text, one accidental run-in, and bond is gone. This is the court saying, we've seen this pattern before, and we're done pretending it's harmless.
Don't go back to these places. I don't want you to have contact with either of the complaining witnesses. Do you understand? I'm going to have you sign these bond conditions. Make better decisions when you're out there, Mr. Jenkins. At some point, someone is going to stop bonding you out. You understand? You've asked me to give you a different lawyer. This isn't Burger King where you get your way. I will not give you another one.
And this might be my favorite judicial moment so far. This isn't Burger King. Translation, you don't get to shop for a lawyer because accountability feels uncomfortable. Judges protect the system by protecting competent attorneys, not defendants' egos. Real question, should courts allow more flexibility here, or does this prevent manipulation?
If you're unable to get along with Mr. Perez, then probably not him. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
He may tell you things just because you don't like it. It doesn't give you a cause to complain and I don't like this person. No, he's going to give it to you. I've worked with him for many, many years. I trust him. He does a good job. That's why we gave him to you. You understand? Okay. So we'll have you sign these bond conditions, and after that, you'll be free to go. So he was not, I guess, having a good time with the prior lawyer.
Sure.
So,
I've spoken with his mom already over the weekend.
okay.
We had a really good talk about what was going on. I didn't know she was gonna bond him out as soon as she did, so we're about to go have a talk with the factory about it.
My guess is, though, is that if it's mom, she's not going to continue to do it because every time she bonds you out, all you're doing is you're giving free money to bonding companies. When you pick up new cases, all you're doing is you're giving money away. And I'm sure your mom doesn't have unlimited funds to just keep putting money away. Get a clue. What do you do for a living?
I worked for Uber because the job I was doing,
No, I just want to know, are you fully employed?
no, at the moment.
You need to get a job. You have too much time on your hands and you become self-destructive.
It's hard to get a job because of my record.
Did she tell you something? Do you think it gets easier in life? No. You don't even have convictions and it's hard for you to find a job. How hard do you think it's going to be if they end up in convictions? Do you see my point?
Sure.
Make better decisions. 95% people are in there because no self-control. All right, Matt.
And Your Honor, on both the terroristic threat cases, there are previous conditions from.
Yeah, I will just have them sign those.
Okay,
Yeah.
Judge.
So Matt, here's their state's bond conditions. So they've already been filed. All he needs to do is sign them. Mr. Hernandez, you're charged with evading arrest or detention. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On January 19, 2025, at approximately 11:17 p.m., the officer was dispatched to a discharge of a firearm call on Tilbury Woods Lane. Multiple calls stated there were multiple gunshots in the area, and while servicing the area, the officers were flagged down by a citizen who stated she heard multiple gunshots and a green sedan sped off. Multiple citizens provided video footage, and the officer saw a vehicle that matches the description parked illegally in front of a residence on Moss Springs Court Road, and multiple males exited the vehicle. The officer then initiated a traffic stop, and the driver and passengers began evading on foot. Officer ran after all three males for 100 yards, and all were detained by the officer. The defendant and others admitted they saw emergency equipment and decided to evade on foot. Surveillance video showed the defendant throwing an AR pistol with no serial number in front of the residence.
Okay, this escalated fast. An AR-style pistol with no serial number is already a red flag, but the key detail here is intent. Tampering charges live or die on whether prosecutors can prove the defendant knew what they were doing. Even the judge is flagging potential weaknesses, which tells you this case is going to get very interesting upstairs.
And surveillance video matched the defendant's clothing.
Saying our defendant here was seen throwing an AR?
Allow me to read the DIMS to confirm that it is.
Sure. Number?
Yes, Judge, it is this defendant throwing the AR, and the firearm had no serial number. Yes.
How can you impute the tampering because it's a specific intent crime, right? Unless you have an admission or something like that, something that I have. But you know what? That's not even my forte. It's like we're doing the evading right here. So
Fighting upstairs, gonna
I
fight
gotcha.
down here too. So you can already expect my issues with this case already.
you know, you're 17. You're now starting your life. This is not a good way to start. You know, you only have two ways that you can go. You can go up or you can go down. Life doesn't get easier the older you get. It only gets more difficult. You get bigger, fatter, you lose hair. It doesn't get easier. And it starts with school. Stay in school. Don't hang with dogs. You're going to...
This is one of those rare courtroom moments where the lecture actually matters. The judge isn't posturing, he's forecasting consequences. Bond conditions, drug testing, school requirements. This is the court trying to redirect a life before the system permanently locks it in. Do moments like this actually change outcomes, or is it already too late?
You are not to smoke weed. You're not to use alcohol, and I'm making that a condition of your bond. I don't want you to have any possession of any weapons as well. Do you understand? If I find that you're in possession of a weapon, I'm going to revoke your bond. I'm going to put you in jail. You're going to finish school with me. You understand? Did they impose any other kind of restrictions up there as far as like curfew or anything like that?
They did not. At first, he had an ankle monitor with the curfew. I asked the court, they agreed to take it off. So his mother and him are going to go after this court proceeding to get that removed.
Is mom here?
Mom is here outside with his younger sister.
Okay. Make good decisions, man. Once you start racking up convictions, I'm telling you, it's over. It's not going to get easier. You understand? We've given you a lawyer. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with her. She's great. She will help you out. If you're not listening to her, you take off. I can't find you. You pick up a new case. I'm going to put you in jail. No more PR bonds for you. Do you understand? One more thing. I will test you in about 45 to 50 days. And if I find that you're smoking weed, it's not going to go well for you. Do you understand? You will get tested. Be ready. So I don't care what you're doing. If you stop doing anything that you shouldn't be doing now, then you should be fined in 45 to 50 days. But if you continue to use, or if you smoke, it's not going to go well. You understand? Okay. Thank you so much for coming. We got you. And then anything you need, whatever you need, just come back and we're happy to help.
Thank you, Judge. And just one thing real quick with the state. I know there's other people that were in this vehicle allegedly. Do you have any names for them? Can you,
I can see.
if I circle back around from you?
Oh, co-defendants? That's a good, because you know what?
And that's part of my issue with both of these cases.
And Your Honor, it does not appear there's any connected cases.
So I have,
So
yeah, that's my issue with the tampering. That's my issue with this case.
They got them all, right?
That's what they say.
Maybe just because of the surveillance shows allegedly one being thrown and that's why they only went after. Perhaps, I don't know. But
I won't fight everybody too crazy today, but probably the next day. Yeah.
I'm with you. You know,
Yes.
whatever you need, just
Thank you, Judge.
make good decisions. That's all we're asking you to do. All right?
Thank
Okay,
you very
guys.
much.
Thanks. You got it. Mr. Venegas, you're charged with racing on a highway. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. I have previously found probable cause on this case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to participate in like-kind activity. If I find that you're racing, reckless driving, acting a fool on the highway, number one, I'm going to revoke your bond, put you in jail. The second thing is I'm going to take away your privilege to drive. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you see if he has a license?
still running it, Your Honor. For some reason, it's slow.
Mr. Venegas, you are not allowed to drive unless you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance. That is also a part of your bond conditions. If I catch you driving and you don't have a license or you don't have insurance, it's not going to go well for you here. Do you understand?
Your Honor.
Okay. You have a lawyer. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with him and he'll tell you when you have to come back. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you, then I'm going to issue for a warrant for your arrest. You pick up a new case, act a fool in the free world, I'm going to take it away.
I'm able to run it right now, Your Honor. It's not letting me on our system.
So can you file the same conditions on the racing that we
Same racing conditions, yes, Judge.
All right, so I'm going to have you sign a reset. After that, we'll have you take a seat in the jury box while we'll get your bond conditions. You have to sign it, and after that, you'll be free to go.